stream where Aiden jumped on, and then they called up the other content creators, like the independent investigator lady, Rebecca Lavoie.
Woo.
The worst part about Rebecca Lavoie
is she's beautiful, talented, smart, calm, reserved, better than you, likable, talented. Did I mention professional? Not a gaslighter. She doesn't weaponize the court system. She's not a sensitive, triggered snowflake baby. And Rebecca does not fart nearly as much. She doesn't shit her pants. Allegedly. We know why you hate Rebecca Lavoie.
the other girl that does the show with her,
You don't remember?
Mel. The worst part about that, for me,
Is gay.
is that I didn't know who Rebecca and Mel were. I didn't know anything about.
Of course. You know you were. You know you were. She was very busy. She did not have enough time to hate on those women.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
And we are those women from
Yes.
Something's Off, which
Yes.
is a
With
true
those
crime
women.
podcast that also talks about creator drama, but more we focus more of our legal filings and court cases. And we started off our journey covering the Karen Read case together, though we both come from investigative journalism. And we have our own podcast outside of this one. And the reason we're still on Karen Read, although we do have an update on a different case that we've covered today, which we'll get into in a moment. The reason we're still on Karen Read is because there are 5 civil cases happening with her.
About
sphere.
4. What do you mean 5? There are 4.
No, we figured out there were 5, remember?
Okay. There's Karen versus the cops, Karen
Yes.
versus the Haas defendants, defamation against Karen and Turtle Boy, and
Yes.
the O'Keefe's versus Karen and the bars.
Yes,
the 5th
and
one?
there's one more. We figured out there was a 5th one. I have to
No,
remember.
there's a criminal case against Aiden.
There's something else. There's another one somewhere.
All right, Shaq.
That might be it. I might be thinking about that one, but there's another one. We went through this before and we were like, oh, there's 4. And then we went, oh, technically there's 5.
No, I said no, there's 4. We had a fight about it on the screen, Mel.
We're having to fight about it again, I guess.
You want there to be more because it's so
I don't.
good.
I'm
It's
so
juicy.
overwhelmed when I do the notes for our shows, when I do the research, because we're professionals here and that's what we do to prepare. We don't just jump on and scream and yell at our audience and rag on everybody in the whole universe. What we do is we actually do work. We do research because that's what journalists do, and anybody who wants to have a good show, I feel like, does that kind of thing. So when I do that, I'm like, the docket, the Massachusetts court docket has become my best friend. And I'm always looking for like all the updated files. I'm always getting notifications from Kyle Sharkey and from Dee Dee and from Kouri Hopkins. And every time there's an order that comes out, like, it's overwhelming right now. I feel the notes file, I look at it, I start doing the notes and I go, oh, this will be great for the episode. And then I go, this is 3 episodes worth of stuff. Like, I'm going to have to break this down.
It's not yes and no. Yes and.
I talk a lot.
That's it.
I talk a lot. And you talk a lot. I talk a lot. We interrupt each other. We yell and we scream and we do it. I talk a lot.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things are actually not like super meaty, but we sometimes go on tangents. By the way, I just need to go to the drive-through real quick. Is that cool if I just do that while we're on?
No, pistachio. Simmer your ass down. What are you drinking in your cup?
I got my iced vanilla whole milk coffee. I swear to fucking God.
Who are
I'm a whole milk person. I can't. It tastes better. It tastes better. It just does.
I do the whole, like, I'm very much a coffee drinker. It is a part of my persona. It is everything. And I foam my milk every morning. Like, I do that. But I've been using this like sugar-free creamer that's a little flavored. It's like an Italian cream. It's so good. But I feel like it's so decadent. And I can't imagine drinking whole milk. Like, if I drank whole milk in my coffee, I'd weigh 500 pounds because I would drink so much of it.
Well, skim foam's the best. I have a very fancy coffee
Sometimes.
machine that we got when we redid our kitchen. No, skim. I have one of those ones where you push that's a Jura. You push a button and the drink you want like comes out. Skim foam's the best. I've tried all of them. There's a little milk fridge, whole thing. 1% isn't bad. Skim foam in terms of making like for a cappuccino, voluminous foam. Skim foam's the best. For latte,
The Beth is actually, but that's
okay.
not get technical.
That being said, whole milk. It's delicious, and you can use much less of it than you use of like 2% or whatever. So I just put probably a quarter cup of whole milk in here. It's delicious. It's fucking delicious.
That's way too much for
I'll
me.
never judge somebody. I'll never judge somebody for drinking the milk of their choice ever. Ever.
I'm drinking out of one of my new Le Creuset cups that one of our lovely listeners and watchers bought me from my Amazon list.
Nice.
I absolutely love these cups. I'm crazy about coffee, like everything down to the shape of my coffee cup and all that stuff. So these cups are absolutely amazing. They were rainbow cups and I got them for Pride and I'm very excited about it.
I have those in orange.
What was I going to say to you? Shit.
You were going to say,
oh,
because I'm a lesbian.
Is this because I'm a lesbian or is this because I'm a menopausal woman? Those are the two things that I fluctuate between.
This, of course, is available in our merch store, as is all of those women merch.
Those women. You're so good at the merch store. I'm so glad you took that over. I was bad at it. Listen, you're so much better.
I find it really fun. We also invite you, by the way, to have a gay summer on shirts, on wine tumblers, whatever you would like to have your gay summer on, you can have. We invite you to let's see. We can also do. We also invite you to be. I don't have a picture of it here.
Be what?
I have the Auntie Deb's favorite niece merch. Hold on, I'll get it.
You say auntie, I say auntie.
Auntie Deb's favorite niece.
Yeah, it's the 90s gay summer. Christina Rasmussen. We love it. We love it. I'm a little sleepy. Yes. Are you a little sleepy? This is 45 minutes early for us on a Monday. I'm a morning person. You're a morning person. We were like, fuck it. Let's try 7:45 this morning and see what happens. And I don't know who the 226 of you are that are here, but hey, I'm glad you all are morning people too, and that you're here. And even if you're not a morning person and you're just like waking up and listening, thank you for being here. We love you.
You too can be Auntie Deb's favorite niece in a coffee mug, a Dunkin' Donuts colored coffee mug, or this wonderful shirt. Of course, that was made with Auntie Deb's permission because I'm not a rat.
You're not like that.
And I was like, we'll split the proceeds with you. And he's like, forget that. I was like, it's going to be like 60 cents. Don't you want that?
Yeah.
Don't you want your 60 cents?
The merch,
it's for fun. Merch is for fun.
They make it. I mean, which is fine. I mean, the merch people make it and they ship it and they do all the work for us. So that makes sense. Hey, Maisie, thanks for being a member for 7 months. You're like an OG. Like we've only been around for, I think, almost 9 months. So
I would like to address this.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
You stop it right now, Rebecca. Good evening from Australia. I'm going to get kicked out if I say go Belgium. No, you're not.
You're not.
Maisie, you know why you're not? I'm a little pissed off. I found out a little bit more information. I haven't completely verified this yet, so I don't know if it's actually true. If it is true, I'm going to be really pissed off.
What, the Trump for the red card? That is true. Yeah. It's in the New York Times.
Fuck off. This is so stupid. So I don't believe, okay, first of all, the kid, and I can't even think of his name right now. The kid from the U.S. men's soccer team who got the red card in the last game. Normally a red card, when you get one in a game, means you have to exit the field immediately. Your team is now down to 10 players and you are not allowed to play in the next game. That's been the same for centuries. And if it happened to any other team, we'd be like, wow, that really sucks, but he got a red card. Here's the way I feel about it. I don't believe, well, actually, I take that back. I was leaning toward red card. It was pretty flagrant, but it also felt like he didn't mean to do the damage that he did. So I was torn, but a red card's a red card. You get out of the game. They were down to 10 men. They still managed to win and they won well. the fact that the World Cup is happening in our country and the president of our country called FIFA and called in a favor and was like, let that guy play. FIFA
gross.
did it. Like,
Mhm.
so fucking gross. I'm so sickened by
But FIFA's
it.
gross. FIFA's gross. There's like been a lot of reporting.
I know.
FIFA is super gross.
FIFA's always been awful.
Corrupt.
Even the people who play soccer don't like FIFA. There are tons of accused and charged sexual predators that were allowed to come into our country for some reason to play because FIFA doesn't really care that they have charges against them or they've been found liable for SA. So there are a lot of problems with FIFA and the World Cup. I am personally pissed off because I don't want anyone, if we beat Belgium, I don't want anyone to be like, well, that's because your president called in a favor. Like, what else is he doing? How else is he putting pressure on the officials? Is FIFA putting pressure on the officials? The game yesterday that I watched with England, Mexico, it felt like the officials wanted to keep Mexico in the game. That's what it felt like. It was disgusting what I saw yesterday. The game was amazing. I'm so happy that England's my team. I'm maybe from the United States, but the United States is a toddler when it comes to soccer on the world stage. And I've been a fan of England ever since I was about 10 years old. And I saw the European Championships for the first time. So England's my team. I hope the US do well. I think that it sucks for a bunch of young men who are playing really well to now have to deal with the fact that our president called in a favor. So whatever they win going forward is tainted with that. And that sucks.
Called in a favor for a person who was granted citizenship because they're born here to
birthright
citizen. So at least there's that. So Cassie baby, thank you so much for the 5. Says I have to have a glass of milk before I go to bed or I'm not okay. It has to be whole milk. Interestingly, Cassie, I have a theory about that. I have lactose intolerance big time. Like I have to take 3 Lactaid before I drink my coffee, before my cereal, whatever. If I'm going to do milk and not like almond milk. The one of the biggest lactose intolerance symptoms is fatigue. So I drink if I eat a thing of ice cream, sometimes I have like some lower GI stuff, but I become immediately exhausted. So you're probably a little bit lactose intolerant, and that milk is putting you asleep. Greetings from xenophobic Belgium. Listen, I do not agree with our friend Aiden that Belgium is a flyover country, a drive-through country, a pass-through country, a country with no identity. I know he says it in jest. It's a very funny rant that he goes on because he actually is very knowledgeable about European history and the formation of all the countries in Western Europe and all that stuff. And so when he goes on a rant about something in Europe, like unlike other podcasters, it's actually an informed rant based on his education and expertise, and it's deeply funny as a result. That being said, I do love the waffles, and I know that Belgium has its own identity. So I also, by the way, I do agree with him on Connecticut, though. I agree that Connecticut is not a great state.
I don't agree with his takes on soccer. To me, he sounds like someone who doesn't know soccer very well.
Well, he's learning it, but he is a sports guy. I actually was rooting for Mexico yesterday. Sorry, I love the Mexican people so much. I like the British too, but I really like the Mexicans, having been there 10 million times, and I really was rooting for my friends down there. I just want to say, just to give you a quick overview of what's in our merch store right now. You can get the Those Women merch, the Annie Deb's Favorite Niece merch, the Is This Because I'm a Lesbian merch, the Have a Gay Summer merch, lots of lesbian stuff, the Norfolk County Whack Job merch, the It Just Did merch in honor of our friend.
Love it.
Paul.
Tommy Paul.
Can get is more of that, more of all of it. And then down here, there's a couple of what could be more egregious? What could be more egregious?
Could be more egregious?
Ask it a different way. Ask it a different way. That's a t-shirt that you can get. And then of course,
Mr. Jackson.
You can get the Tommy Paul exclusive Tommy Paul logo merch. It's very high end. You can get the You're Wrong sticker, the dance sticker, the I Love Straight Bear sticker, the Haas sticker, the Welcome to Barnstable tote, and the I'll Allow It merch. And there's even more. There's even more, some OG merch down here. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so go ahead and check out our merch store. It's a lot of fun. And we make 60 cents per purchase.
We're doing something with shipping, right?
Yeah. If your order is more than $70, your shipping's free.
That's nice.
So just order like a t-shirt and a sweatshirt. It's like 60, whatever, or a t-shirt, a hat, and a sweatshirt, and you get free shipping. Give them away to all of your Something's Off fan friends.
Yeah, I would like for everyone to come up with Rebecca's new middle name. I called her
Rebecca
Rebecca
Jean.
Lane this morning. We're calling her Rebecca Jean. Someone else called you Rebecca Shaniqua. Relax on. Thank you, Christina. Let's see what else we have going on.
Yes, we are going to
you're
actually
absolutely
ship
right.
it. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, we are going to actually ship it because we don't ship it. Somebody else does. Do you notice, by the way, when my capacity to send stickers to members diminished because we got so many members, I said, I can no longer do this. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to put stickers in our store. I love for all the people who got some stickers. I still have some left that we might use in the future at an event or something, but it really became overwhelming to fill out 500 envelopes every weekend. So, you know, you just got to acknowledge your capacity, got to acknowledge when your capacity dries up, and you got to not overpromise. Don't overpromise. It's not hard to not overpromise.
Yeah, you're really good at that. I'm not so great at that. I say yes to just about everything.
No, you got to draw some boundaries, man. Otherwise, you're going to hate your life. You're going to hate your life. Yeah. Like I'm going on vacation first week in August, and I'm not streaming from my vacation. Unless, of course, something incredible happens, like Karen Reed's lawsuit gets dropped or something. But like, nah.
Rebecca Jean is a good one. Rebecca Jean is a good one. And Rebecca Sue. Honey Kid. Rebecca Lou. Rebecca Nicole. Rebecca Nicole
Smith.
Let's see. We had Creasy Ovian. Creasy Ovia in. Thanks for the $5. Said, morning, ladies. To be honest, aren't most Americans people who don't know soccer? And yes, it is because I'm a lesbian.
Because I'm a lesbian.
Facts.
Is this
facts,
because
facts,
I'm a
facts.
lesbian?
Thanks for the $5. What else do we have on housekeeping? I have a dumb tweet.
Ooh, dumb tweet of the week?
I do. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. My pausing.
Make sure you like the video if you're here. Like it. Tell your friends to subscribe. I really want to get to 15,000 subscribers, maybe by the fall. That would be fun.
You want to get to what? Sorry, you broke up.
Maybe like 15K by the fall. That would be cool.
That would be great. We're at 10,000. We're almost at 10.3. So
that's cool.
I feel like James Lynch, no, I do not own pugs. That is so offensive.
That's the way I interpreted it.
That is so offensive to a Frenchie owner. I own a Frenchie. Her name. I don't know.
I don't know. You're just my type.
I guess I do. She's my little Ruby Jean. Maybe Rebecca going on vacation will lead to something amazing happening. She jumped on for the KF verdict.
That's
when
right.
Are you going on vacation?
August 1st through the 8th.
Oh, right.
And then my son's wedding is the following weekend. On the 13th, 14th, and 15th, I'll be out of pocket because I have my son's getting married. He's getting married. I'm going to be a mother-in-law. I'm going to be somebody's mother-in-law. Isn't that wild?
You are.
And I could be somebody's grandmother in the next few years. I could be in the next couple of years be somebody's grandmother.
Yeah, but you're not right now.
I'm like really excited about the potential of that. That being said, don't adopt, don't shop us. Mel did adopt her dog, her Frenchie. Leave her alone.
I did. Thank you very much.
And also people want to shop. Listen, I believe in adopting dogs as much as possible. I also don't judge people who buy the dog that's the best fit for their family. I would rather somebody do a lot of research, go to Responsible Breeder, find a dog that's fit for their family, than adopt a dog and then return it because they didn't do any research and they were like, whatever.
Also,
I like
coming at me for any kind of like dog rights stuff is just
not
strange.
cool.
I mean, it means you don't know me because I owned a dog walking company.
And she's a lesbian and they love their dogs. They love their 3-legged dogs.
And I am a very good dog mom. So
am I. I cook for my dogs, which I did buy because my husband's allergic to dogs. So
yeah, you have hypoallergenic dogs. People sometimes some people need hypoallergenic dogs, and doodles and some terriers are hypoallergenic. So get over it.
Not technically hypoallergenic, low allergenic technically, but Kevin's never been allergic to any of our dogs. So he was allergic to our bulldog. It was bad.
That's the saliva. Super Planner Girl Amanda has been a member for 6 months and we love her and she does our chapter. So everybody in the chat, please say thank you to Amanda. She does a lot of work for us and we appreciate that. And Amanda says, sadly, the most I know about soccer is from Ted Lasso. Oops, but I love Ted Lasso. Here comes season 4. I love Ted Lasso too. Big Ted Lasso fan. Rebecca, if you were Jen's sister, you'd be Beck.
Is that, should you call her Beck?
Probably.
No.
I have no idea.
No.
but I think they're just saying that's what you would be.
Oh, like Coco?
I saved.
I'd be Riri.
Riri. I saved Ruby from a backyard breeder situation. She had already been saved, but she went to a rescue and we found her. And she was a mama dog. She had 3 litters when they decided they were done with her, and so they kicked her out. To this, this is a well-known backyard breeder that they're trying to shut down in our area, who literally goes out and gets dogs, uses them to breed 2 or 3 times, and then drops them off with the shelter or with a foster group.
Speaking of dogs, you've been following the saga of what was released with regard to Chloe.
I have. You Cassidy?
Yeah, there's a Houston rescue. It was apparently the origin of was Chloe, and then the Houston rescue is what helped rehome Chloe twice after the death of John O'Keefe. But I looked at someone tweeted the listing for when Chloe was being rehomed, and oh boy, was it inaccurate. She's a love bug who loves people and loves to cuddle. Only doesn't like dogs. Needs to be the only dog, but really loves people.
No,
really
that's not
loves
what we're
them.
hearing. Also, her original vet paperwork was under the name Cassidy. She was then apparently renamed Chloe, and has now been renamed Cora. The poor
Allegedly.
dog does not know her name.
She knows what she likes to eat, though, and that is dogs and people.
Dogs and people. Okay, let me bring up this dumb tweet of the week.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. There were some other ones, and I couldn't remember where I put them. So this is the one that I have that just blew my mind. All right, so this was so Kyle Sharkey was the original tweeter on this, and he said, this is a quote. So these are pulled from the transcripts, which we're going to go over a little bit today. These are transcripts from a Gretchen Voss. Yeah, a Gretchen Voss interview with Karen Reed. There were 2 of them. These are the transcripts from those interviews. And the quote that Kyle Sharkey has pulled out of this says, quote, and they would tell me, call before you get here. The dog can't even be out at all. And they'd lock it in the bathroom. That is a direct quote from who we think may be Tom Beattie.
Yep.
Who had to talk to his daughter about this information. So the highlighted section and we're going to get into it, but the highlighted section says, and then I talked to a friend of mine in Canton. That's Karen saying that. And I said, quote, Tom, do they have a dog? End quote. And he said, quote, I think they have a German Shepherd. Let me ask my daughter, Erin Beattie. Now, the significance of Erin Beattie and Tom Beattie is that Colin called Erin Beattie at like 12:30 something in the morning, the night John died. So it would have been right after John was put out on the lawn. Or no,
before he was put on the lawn, but after he had been incapacitated.
Well, after he
wasn't put on the lawn until way later. He wasn't put on the lawn until after Lucky Lochran drove by and all that stuff. So he'd been incapacitated at this point, yes.
Sure. So at like 12:30, 12:35, Colin Albert contacts Erin Beattie for some unknown reason. And then there were several calls to Erin over the next day. And then there were many calls from Jen McCabe to Tom Beattie during these hours and in the morning. And Tom Beattie, how do we explain who Tom Beattie is?
Tom Beattie was a friend of Karen's and a friend of John's. And Tom Beattie went on some of the social media around Karen Reed. I think he went on the Karen Reed Facebook group, I think is where this happened, where he said, they've been threatening me. I don't care about that. But when they threaten my daughter, that's it. And apparently what Turtle Boy has reported is that at one point, Jen McCabe told Erin Beattie to put a dick in her mouth to shut up.
Yes.
And which, tracks. By the way, if you're hearing farts and whatever, it is my fucking dog. Do not clip that and send it to Jolene, please. My dog is ripping this morning.
She already established that you only fart every once in a while. So.
Yes. And Jen also did try to call Tom in the morning before Karen arrived. Correct.
Yes. Okay. So the highlighted section says, Tom, do they have a dog? I think they have a German Shepherd, but let me ask my daughter, a teenager who knows Colin. And he said, quote, yeah. And he goes, in fact, I redid their basement 2 years ago. Interesting that he redid their basement 2 years ago. And then they redid their basement again. Kind of strange. And they had to restrain the dog. And they would tell me, call before you get here. The dog can't even be at the wall. and then they'd lock it in the bathroom.
That was my impression, by the way, through sound effect of Chloe in the bathroom, although I'm sure it sounded a lot more frenetic.
Okay, here's the dumb part of the tweet. That's not from Kyle Sharkey, didn't post the dumb tweet. This person, Jenny C, posted it. Her quote unquote friend, Tom, I assume she means Tom Beatty, had she ever even talked to Tom before backing up towards John that night? I also have to put my large dog in a bedroom when new people come over because she zoomies so much she knocks people over, LOL.
That's what Chloe was. Well, that's what she did when she bit that lady's dog and almost killed it outside their house.
Yeah,
she just had the zoomies.
She was just doing zoomies.
Oh, or when she bit that other lady who was walking by their house, she just had the zoomies.
And
maybe
Karen had never spoken with Tom. She'd never talked to Tom before.
Maybe she was zooming and she just happened to be zooming with her mouth open and her tooth just snagged on that poor lady's arm.
She was doing zoomies. Come on, you guys.
She had the zoomies.
I think some of the dumbest tweets come from people who have really stupid takes on what Chloe was doing.
Oh, no. I think the really dumb tweets come from people who think Jen McCabe is a saint.
Correct.
She's a saint.
Correct.
Saint Jen.
All right. So that's what I had for dumb tweet of the week. Do you have any dumb tweets or no?
Patron saint of timelines. No, I don't. Because I was so busy researching our gossipy stream yesterday. That took up my whole weekend.
Okay.
We did a members only gossipy stream yesterday in which we discussed some of Jolene's reactions to Jess Machado, and I played some of my most entertaining Jess Machado clips. And we also talked about the latest charges against somebody with the initials MO. And it was a really, really good stream. You should check it out, become a member, and then you can watch it because it was on yesterday. So.
Okay. I don't know what this means, Jennifer Manning. Hey, Mel, I hear you sometime guitaring.
Is English your second language, Jennifer? Nope, no problem if it is.
That's
not a problem. But anyway, it's English.
You said Linglish. Okay. I don't know what that means. Let me know what you're talking about and I will confirm or deny. Okay. I think that's all we have for housekeeping. Like, if you're here right now, go ahead and there's 445 of you. So there should be 445 likes, right? Unless you're a troll. Are there any trolls in the house? Hello, Stuart.
I got to show you something.
Okay. You going to show the pop hats?
Yeah, they're so cute. For those who have been asking, because I did get an email about this. These are the stickers.
Oh my God.
On Stuart's feet. They're little paw pads. You put them on. They're just like stickers. And you put them here and then I stick it on and I hold my hand like this just to make it stick. And then they last for like 4 or 5 days and they help him on the wooden floors. And then when he goes outside and the pavement's super hot, he's all good. Anyway, this is my 15-year-old dog, Stuart.
Stewie. He looks great.
He's the one who was just ripping it.
He's excited today.
Yeah. He's very excited. And then this
I don't have Ruby out here.
I can't pick this one up so easily. This is Briscoe.
On, Briscoe.
He's 65 pounds of pure derpiness.
Eyeliner. Briscoe's eyeliner is on point this morning.
So we named him Briscoe. We named him after Jerry Orbach's Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order because that's what Jerry Orbach's eyes looked like. R.I.P. Jerry Orbach. He also donated his eyes to a person and saved their sight.
That's
Sorry.
amazing.
Now I have a wedgie now because of these stupid dogs.
Okay, fix the wedgie. Let's go on with it here. I don't have Ruby out in the pod with me because we are on the tail end of this insane heat wave, and it's too hot out here for her right now. So, okay, we have a lot to get into today, so I'm going to try to break this into 2 episodes. I think there's a new FOIA. Go to FOIA and find out if you want to read the documents yourself. I have a bunch of them that we can pull up. But a new document dump happened, and there's some pretty juicy stuff in there, if I'm being honest. First of all, we found out that Matt McCabe is a voluminous writer of letters to folks like Cosgrove and the governor, Maura Healey. He wrote one letter to Cosgrove complaining about witness intimidation on his family. He also wrote another letter to Governor Healey about how good of a man Michael Proctor is. So
Matt is what some, not me, some might call a cuck.
Yes.
That's not a word I would ever use. Ever.
The letter to Maura Healey is really interesting to me because you can tell he doesn't actually like her. and he just wants her to do what he wants to do. He wants her to do the thing he wants to do. Before we get into any of that, though, there's something.
By the way, these are people who would never in a million years fucking vote for Maura Healey.
That's what I'm saying.
The lesbian Democratic governor of the state of Massachusetts. These people would never, ever. But when they want something,
it's because, like Chris Albert says, they're being discriminated against because of their political beliefs.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure Karen is also a Republican, folks. Pretty sure. Yeah. I bet money on it, actually.
I'm gonna,
not that who cares, but like there's no judgment. It's just that the idea that there's politics at play in any of this is wild to me. Absolutely wild.
I am sharing my screen. There's nothing on the screen, but it's the only way I can let you hear this.
Okay.
This was a random voicemail that was included in the files. I want to listen to it. It's a couple minutes long. And it is to prosecutor Hank Brennan. So, yeah, here we go.
Hi, Mr. Brennan. If this is your voicemail, you're not listed in the select by name directory, understandably, but especially now. I'm a former paralegal at DOJ, but now living in Tennessee, retired because of a disability. And I just have to say I'm so disappointed in you. I left a message that was actually present for Mr. Lawley at the end of the other trial, because I felt like he was kind of being forced to turn a blind eye, even be trying to intentionally lose because he deep down has his own suspicions. You must, or you are really not watching the entirety of the previous trial. But I want you to know that what you're saying today is in direct contradiction to your own former witness, Brian Albert's testimony, where he said he let Chloe outright at that time because he knew that some experts may deduce that they are dog bites, and that was leaving open the possibility that she attacked John's body out where it wasn't even there yet. But at that time, when they later said that Karen hit him, you must know that there's ample reasonable doubt, or you wouldn't be going after expert witnesses. And just as a Christian, I am a fairly astute former paralegal, but also as a Christian, you're going to have to answer to a higher power. And right now, I would like to go with you to see Chloe, since she thinks that she's safe to be around, and say sick of myself for her to bite either D.A. Morrissey or you, but somehow I still don't feel like that way toward Mr. Lawley. And then you'll have a comparison of exactly what her claw and bite marks look like. And what does it matter which the doctor is not contradicting herself about? And it's misogynistic of you to suggest that she is. And like one person in the chat I've been watching, it said she would like to see you go after the ARCA experts, but apparently you really are. But you probably speak with more respect to them. But now you're going to have to say that they're from the FBI or hired by the FBI. So either you know something that the FBI is being told to stand down because of the change in administration, or you're just not concerned about your own reputation. If even I, a paralegal in Tennessee now, can see the ineptitude of what you're saying. I'm just disappointed even for you to let yourself appear stupid. Why are you all so afraid of these witnesses of yours? And now you can't call Brian Albert, because I will personally bring it to the defense's attention, and I have their cell phone numbers of how he's contradicting himself if he comes out and says anything other than that he let Chloe outright at that time, which would make it moot whether or not she attacked John O'Keefe's snow-frozen arm at 12:30 at night.
No frozen arm.
Or snow-covered arm, supposedly. Anyway, and I started out actually for the prosecution, but the evidence that was presented in just the reasonable doubt of anybody watching any one of your witnesses, and I pray that Proctor comes forward. He was actually the only believable one after he started telling the truth, and now he's being used as a patsy for all the others, which they set him up to be. And I pray that he comes forward. against the Commonwealth.
I caught you off guard this morning, and I'm here for it.
Lady did not hold back.
Holy shit, Hank Brennan. How did that make you feel, buddy? She's not even mad at Lally. She just thinks he's a dumbass.
One thing I wish she hadn't mentioned was having the defense's cell phone numbers. That was a little weird. That was a little fucking weird.
I think it's like she has their cell phones because she probably found their cell phones. I don't think she doesn't sound like somebody the defense would necessarily like call on as like, somebody that they would reach out to. But she kept bringing up the fact that she was a DOJ paralegal. And she's like, if you call Brian Albert again, I will personally contact the defense and let them know about the problem with his testimony.
I mean,
I was like, woo.
I don't think that, to be fair, I don't think that Jackson, Yannetti, and co needed this lady from Tennessee's help.
No.
That being said, my favorite part of text messages, as a Christian,
Hank Brennan, as a Christian,
you're in trouble with Jesus.
How very dare you?
Jesus is pissed at you.
But you know who?
You got the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit pissed off, my friend.
Jesus is not pissed off at Rebecca Lynn Lavoie this morning because she gifted 5 memberships. I did. I'm taking your example. Doesn't my hair look good in that picture? It does. Thank you. Your hair looks great. Thank you very much. I was actually, there was someone else in that picture and I cut him out because my hair looked so good. I was like, I just want to. It was Payne Lindsay. I cut him out. I was like, bye, Payne. Suck it. I'm having a good hair day. I don't want to be seen in the photo with you and my hair looks this good. That was a pretty good way to start this FOIA dump.
Are there more?
Okay.
I'm kind of sexy. I'm kind of like hot now. I'm kind of like
this is what
I'm feeling a little less menopausal than I was before, if you know what I mean.
Hot goss turns Rebecca Lavoie on.
Sure does. Sure does.
Oh, thanks so much, law girls, not attorneys. Good morning. Thank the Lord for Something's Off podcast on a Monday morning. Here we are. We started an hour ago or almost an hour ago, and we're going strong.
We've talked about very little since then, but it's okay.
We talked about a bit.
We're warming up. We're just warming up.
Maybe that was Tennessee. Maybe that was like the Glara's aunt.
The Glara's auntie?
The Glara's auntie.
He's interesting. It's funny. He's like all over the place in terms of his like and like he's like I want to say like he's an actual libertarian, not like a capital L, like not like a libertarian who's actually a far right wing person who invades your local Congress, as happened in New Hampshire, and pretends to be libertarian, but they're actually just really far right. He's actually, I think, a pick and choose. This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. This is fair kind of guy. Yeah. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the old school libertarians. I don't know if that's what he is, how he self-identifies. He probably doesn't identify as anything, but that's how he strikes me, because he's very justice-minded. Doesn't like racism.
Lindsay and I were actually talking about like how we've evolved, over the years. And, we talk about politics every once in a while, but I'm like, I've always been liberal leaning because of my social politics, but I'm also very much a libertarian because that was the way I was brought up. And so I think I was like, I think I am basically a libertarian with democratic socialist views. And she's like, so you're a Marxist. I was like,
kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know there's a lot of like bad connotations.
My son is a Marxist. There's nothing wrong with being a Marxist. It is what it is.
No, I know, but people, try to make it sound like it's an all
like thing. My son, my son doesn't see a difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump substantively, because Marxists are just like, the political machine is broken and it needs to be actually broken. So anyway, but
okay,
I'm not using my son for content. I'm just telling you what I've learned from him, because he is smarter than I am in every conceivable way. Okay.
Let's take a look at Matt McCabe's letters.
Maddie.
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do think some of I am going to read the Governor Healy one, because you can hear Matt being more angry in that one.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read that one to you.
Dear Maura, despite having voted for you several times.
Yeah, no, that's not what it says. It's addressed to Maura Healy and Chief Mon or Commander Mon. Let me see.
Commander what? Commander Mons?
Colonel Mon. So I'm
Mons?
assuming this is the guy who was the head of the MSP, or maybe still is, not really sure. He sent it to Maura Healy. He also sent it to a Galvin, who's in the Mass House, the State House. He sent it to the clerk in Norfolk County. He sent it to Walter Timilty and Andrea Camel in the State House. He sent it to Michael Morrissey. He sent it to Kimberly Driscoll, who works for the government. I don't know in what capacity. David Traub, NFK. Lynn Beeland. John Pinkham, Constituent Services for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The State Police Association of Mass.
Okay. The Galvin is
yep.
William Galvin, who lives in
Yes.
Canton with his wife and 2 children. Is that Denise's husband?
Bill Galvin. I
that's
know
him.
the name. I know the name from politics, like local politics, but I don't know what his role is. But
Yeah, he's a
Galvin,
state house. He's a state rep, and he's from Canton, and he's an insurance professional, and
Yep.
he's a co-owner of an insurance agency, and he was on the board of assessors in Canton. Okay.
yeah. So I think that he is directly in family, like familial relation to William Bill Galvin. So Carissa Hand, who works in the government for, it looks like Secretary of State, maybe, not really sure. James Eldridge, Gerald Collins, Mike Barrett, who is in the Mass Senate, William Brownsberger. I don't know who that is. And the subject line is urgent suspension Trooper Michael Proctor, state witness. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Dear Governor Healy and Colonel Mott, I'm writing on behalf of the current unpaid suspension investigation into Mass State Trooper Michael Proctor. My name is Matthew McCabe. I am actually one of the state's witnesses in the Karen Reed trial. I do not condone the private text messages that Trooper Proctor shared with his friends and colleagues, but in no way do those text messages warrant a termination of Trooper Proctor. He's a dummy. He has worked tirelessly on this case as well as others, and those text messages played no role into his or the team's investigation into the death of John O'Keefe. How the fuck does Matt McCabe know that? How does he know?
He knows.
How's he know?
He knows, and he knows that the opposite is true, and it's opposite day. Oh, it's always opposite day with these people.
Trooper Proctor and his wife, along with myself, my wife, my family, and my friends, have been attacked and vilified in the media and on social media platforms. The accusations and harassment are like nothing I or you have ever seen. It is unprecedented, and the focus should be on protecting those involved. Your frustration and attention should be directed at the behavior of the defense and their collusion with working with bloggers to vilify and attack anyone associated with this case. What the defense team has done is a disgrace to the Massachusetts judicial system. If this is when law and order will be practiced moving forward, the state of Mass under your watch should prepare for a lawless society. The federal government inserted themselves in this case for what reasons I do not know. It was your wife. It was your wife in her 227 search. Actually,
No, it was Morrissey. They were already investigating Morrissey. That's why.
Yeah, but they started to understand that there was something off. Something was off.
You're saying something was off with this case? Is that why we've been talking about it? Because something's off?
Something was off. Something's off with this case.
By the way, you can Mel. There's people in the chat that are talking about your mic. It's actually you're having these tiny little internet glitches. This happened last couple of streams. So it sounds like your mic is crapping out. It's not your mic. So folks don't worry about it. It's 175 degrees.
Yeah,
in
yours
DC.
is doing the same thing. Our mics are just dealing with.
It's actually you hearing my mic this way. I have listened to the tape. It is your internet. You're having tiny little glitches, but I think it's infrastructure of where you live because it's been 750,000 degrees, like the surface of the sun.
Yeah,
cables aren't doing well down there in the DC area.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so we're back to prepare for a lawless society, according to Matthew McCabe. The federal government inserted themselves in this case
Wait, can you go back to the lawless society line, please? I want to hear that again.
Sure. If this is the way law and order will be practiced moving forward, the state of Massachusetts, under your watch, should prepare for a lawless society.
It's going to be Lord of the Flies down here
Right.
in Canton. Oh my God.
The federal government inserted themselves in this case. For what reasons, I do not know. But all
No.
they have done has given validation for the media and the online bloggers to attack the state police and the state's witnesses. During the federal investigation, private text messages from Michael Proctor were submitted to counsel in the Karen Reed trail. What we did not see was any collusion or conspiracy to frame Karen Reed in those private messages, because in all caps, it did not happen.
He didn't write this.
What I do not understand is why the federal government felt that it was important to share those private text messages, but at no point did they find it important to share that there was no conspiracy or cover-up of the murder of John O'Keefe. Since this investigation became public at the hands of the defense team leaking this, we have watched multiple innocent state witnesses be tormented and accused of the murder of their friend, when in fact all the witnesses tried to do was help. Our justice system is broken, and this case shows that nobody will want to be a state witness in the future. And I would like to add a little note that nobody has a choice in the matter when you are subpoenaed to be a state witness. In conclusion, I understand a suspension of Trooper Proctor for his unprofessional behavior is warranted, but in no way should you terminate a great officer of the state. As a Mass State Trooper with a young family and a life in law enforcement in front of him, you should not take that away from him. You are aware that Trooper Proctor did not compromise the state police investigation into the death of John O'Keefe. As the leaders of the state of Massachusetts, you should not cower and let the Free Karen Reed group direct and bully you into a regrettable decision. Governor Healy and Colonel Mon, I plead with you to make a statement.
I plead with you. I plead with you.
I plead with you to make a statement that shows support for your team. Your team. I'm going to read that again. Governor Healy and Colonel Mon, I plead with you to make a statement that shows support for your team, with a capitalization on team. Stand up for the men and women of the Mass State Police and stand behind their investigation and the charges that were brought against Karen Reed. The removal of Trooper Proctor will only continue the charade that Karen Reed and her defense have unleashed on this great state and will compromise the state's retrial of Karen Reed. Thank you very much for reading this, and I hope you make the right and ethical decision to keep Trooper Proctor on the job. Best regards, Matthew McCabe, Canton, Massachusetts.
Best regards, Jen McCabe. Gonna make my husband sign this because penises get the job done, which they do, by the way. I mean, more so. I was waiting for this restaurant to call me back for 2 months about the rehearsal dinner. I definitely 100% booked for my son and for my son's wedding. Never got back to me. Last week, I was like, Kevin, I need you to be the one to leave this message. We got to fucking call back immediately. I'm just telling you.
Yep.
She thought the penis would work, and guess what? It didn't work.
So do you have any thoughts on this letter, this friendly letter that Matt McCabe sent to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
Well, it doesn't hold up and particularly well. And, there's some weird metaphors, like why they chose to insert themselves into this case. Well, I am absolutely a person who believes women in every circumstance and would never say this about a woman accusing a man of something, but I think you guys had it coming. That's why I think they inserted themselves in this case. I guess I just don't imagine a world in which I think they thought they would release this and they would also be able to release it to the media or whatever. And then it would be news. They were trying to make news. McCabe pleads with governor, help us. But it didn't have this is why they ended up hiring the PR firm, because the PR firm that we obviously gave quotes to People Magazine and all the places they hired, because their own PR efforts didn't work. So that's why they had to hire that New York based firm. Yeah. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, is a People Magazine article after the second verdict, where through a PR firm, one of the country's biggest PR firms, they gave a statement to People magazine. So they did in fact hire a PR firm. Who knows if they're still working with them or not. I would guess not, considering how poorly their PR is going, but that's just me.
This letter was sent, obviously, in between the two trials. Mandy Reardon said, Matt McCabe, I'll bully you instead. Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's nice of you. That's sweet of you to offer.
In the words of Little Law Girl, that didn't age well. Yeah.
It didn't. It aged like a fine cheese.
Yeah, so that happened. Matt also sent a second email. This one was a little bit later in the year. This was October of 2024. And this one he sent directly to, let me make sure I have the right one, October. This one he sent to Michael Morrissey's office. Let me make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. Let's see. All right. Matthew McCabe sent October 31st. Why is he sending this on Halloween? I don't know. To Josh Levy. So he's
the U.S. attorney for the District of Massachusetts.
He's the AUSA for Massachusetts. He's the one who was investigating the Sandra Birchmore case and then stumbled upon all the shit show that is the Karen Reed case. He sent it to Michael Morrissey and Josh Levy. He CC'd Andrea Campbell again, Maura Healy again, Kristen at HB at HB Justice. Do you want to look up HB Justice? I don't know what that is.
Sure.
James Hendry, Helena Rafferty, the Canton police chief at
is
that
it
point.
hbjustice.org or something?
hbjustice.com. So he sent it to Helena Rafferty. He sent it to Jeff.
Hank
Jeffrey
Brennan's law firm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course it is.
It's Hank Brennan's law firm where he has the oldest fucking picture of himself on his homepage.
Send it to me.
I am going to send it to you right now.
Are you? Yeah.
So good.
He sent it to Jeffrey Noble, who was the chief of police, I think, for Boston chief of police at the time. Is that right? Jeffrey Noble, or was that Massachusetts State Police?
Massachusetts State Police. He was the colonel.
Yeah, that's what it was. And he sent it to Brian Tully. So he knows.
Good old Tully. I mean, God knows if you get it to Tully, you'll get something good out of it because Tully is a stand-up guy.
He knows all the players, and he sent it to all those people.
HB Justice.
HB Justice.
This is HB Justice right here. The HB Justice
like
League.
30. He's 30 in that picture.
This is not a recent photo. I mean, somebody goes to meet with him and they're like, hey, now somebody's been smoking a lot since this photo was taken. I just think he smokes a lot. He has the look and sound of a frequent smoker. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to.
No worries. Dear Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. Wait, is Cosgrove isn't even on this list. He's not even.
He wasn't CC'd on his own email?
No.
It wasn't to him and CC'd the other people? No. Who was the to line?
To Michael Morrissey and Josh Levy.
Oh, he's probably just he's sending it to them because he can't find Cosgrove's email because Cosgrove is a special prosecutor. That's why. So he sent it to Morrissey's office. Yeah.
Got it. Dear Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove, Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey, and Acting United State Attorney Josh Levy. I currently do not have the email. Oh, there it is. I currently do not have the email of Special Prosecutor Cosgrove or ADA Adam Lally. Please share. Last week, myself and my wife, Jen, had the opportunity to sit down with Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. It was great to discuss with him the current situation and to talk about things moving forward. Upon reflection, I feel that as witnesses, especially my wife, we are being placed in a no-win situation. Our friend, John O'Keefe, tragically lost his life, and as part of a disturbing defense strategy, we are being falsely accused of causing his death by thousands of people. We are targets of a despicable campaign of criminal witness intimidation and harassment. Due to many issues that are outside of our control. Yes, Rebecca?
I just want to point out, Cosgrove is the special prosecutor in Aidan Carney's criminal case.
Yes.
So he is writing basically the same letter to the guy who's prosecuted Aidan Carney when he talks about the case in which he and his wife are witnesses. I'm assuming that's what he's referring to because.
Well, he's meeting with Robert Cosgrove. Yeah.
Yeah, he's meeting with Cosy and Cosgrove. Yeah, and these are the same people that tried to get, or Chris and Jen tried to get a restraining order on a protective order against Aidan Carney, and the judge was like, no. And we should say Matt McCabe in the video calls Aidan Carney small. He says that he is, shorter than I thought you were. He calls him tough guy. Clearly very afraid.
Clearly. Due to many issues that are out of our control, the current case against Carney has not proceeded forward, and we anticipate and expect more delays. While this is going on, his targeted harassment, along with others on social media, has amplified. Each day we are subjected to thousands of defamatory and libelous comments directed at my wife, family, and friends. This is ongoing online harassment, or more accurately, cyber crimes that are specifically targeting key witnesses in the Karen Read case. The damage that has been inflicted on my family is irreparable. My children, my wife, and I live in constant fear and uncertainty as to what is coming next from this Free Karen Read FKR mob. Aidan Carney has been operating as a mouthpiece for the defendant, who has only been emboldened by the Department of Justice's involvement. The involvement by the DOJ has only empowered him and others to continue these reprehensible acts, as more individuals feel justified in joining his campaign of cyber harassment and witness intimidation with no accountability. The full extent of the psychological harm we have suffered has yet to be realized. As to why the DOJ is involved in this case, I don't know the answer. At the time, I welcomed it, as I know that myself, my wife, my family, and my friends were not involved in the tragic death of our friend, John. In the end, I expected the DOJ to show the public that the accusations against the witnesses have been unfounded and there is no conspiracy. The DOJ knows that the witnesses were not involved, but instead of our names being cleared, all we have received is continued harassment by the FKR mob, which has only been fueled by this open investigation from the DOJ that has compromised the state's case against Karen Read, has swayed public opinion, and tainted the jury pool. The state is currently prosecuting Aidan Carney for witness intimidation, but that has not done nothing to stop the continued harassment. We have provided you with ample evidence of his continued intimidation harassment. As stated in a recent Vanity Fair story on Karen Read, Carney has turned this situation into making himself $50,000 per month. He has built this income around spreading a conspiratorial narrative of lies, harassment, and criminal witness intimidation. Via use of the internet, Carney has engaged in cyber criminal activities using digital platforms to propagate false information and manipulate public opinion. This orchestrated campaign of deception, directed by the defendant, Karen Read, not only distorts the truth, but also breaks the law, highlighting the broader issue of how the internet is being weaponized to facilitate such illicit operations. After reviewing some of the more recent events that we have shared to show his behavior, I strongly disagree with the assertion that we need more material. So that means that Cosgrove told him, we don't have anything to prosecute him with, get us more material.
Correct.
On September 19th, my wife, an innocent
and they
woman,
were like, hey, Kate.
Yeah.
This is Matt. Kate. Yeah. Jen told me to call. Yeah. So you know the material that you provided us and that you provide? Yeah, we need more. Okay, thanks, Kate. Okay, we'll see you at the cookout. Oh, bring Lindsay. But Lindsay, keep calling away from Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kate. See you soon.
No reason in particular. Just keep calling away from her. On September 19th, my wife, an innocent woman, was publicly branded a murderer on the steps of the Massachusetts State House. The Massachusetts State House, he said.
The Massachusetts State House.
That's not me. That's Maddie McCabe being like, in all caps, the Massachusetts State House. I ask you, sir.
Do you know? I mean, I've tweeted about Jen many times. Am I guilty of cyber crimes?
I think so.
Cyber crimes does whatever a cyber crime does. That's for the person who said that they hear the Spider-Man theme. Yeah.
Legal scholar Matthew McCabe thinks that you are doing cyber crimes on a daily.
Cyber crimes by talking about what I saw and heard with my own eyes and ears.
Law scholar Matt McCabe goes on to explain that saying that someone, an innocent woman, allegedly, was publicly branded a murderer on the steps of the Massachusetts State House, that incident alone constitutes witness intimidation. So he would know because he's a legal scholar. On October 19th, Carney publicly so basically for the next like page and a half, he's going to go through a bunch of quotes from Aiden. I'll read a couple of them. I'm not going to read all of them. Quote, with Jenny McCabe, it's going to be great because her kid is Allie McCabe and he sucks too. Allie McCabe is the getaway driver to a murderer. She's an accomplice to a murder, and then she lied about where she was that night, end quote. I hate to tell you this, Maddie, but this was proven true in some ways because we've now seen the Life 360.
Yes.
And
yes.
I got that tickle in my throat again. Okay. Here's a quote from Aiden. I will never stop no matter what happens. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Rebecca?
That sounds a little proctory, a little Sean Goody. I'll never stop no matter what happens. Did you see, by the way, no, it's not. Did you see, by the way, that the whole thing about Farwell and how he proposed to his wife in the new filing?
No. Oh, yes, I did. He
slipping the ring on her finger in the middle of the night.
While she was sleeping.
Yeah, no, I will not stop no matter what happens is not witness intimidation. Clearly. None of this is witness intimidation. Turtle Boy was right.
Imagine sitting next to a cold-blooded killer like this at your kid's soccer game. We all know what you did, end quote. I mean, so every time every time someone from your community who doesn't like you yells that at you at a soccer game, is that witness intimidation? This to me almost sounds like neighbors like yelling at each other. It's like get off my lawn kind of shit. All right.
No, it's you know how we were talking yesterday about a person who starts yelling when they're not hearing what they want to hear, right? Yeah. They're not hearing what they want to hear, ergo witness intimidation.
Stupid. Look at my bottle just like dripping with condensation because it's so friggin' hot in here.
No, it's all, you know what it is? It's dripping because of that woman from Tennessee's voice memo. Your bottle's hot and bothered by that, just like I was.
Apparently.
That was hot.
This must be stopped.
Stop.
This must be stopped. As a witness of the state and federal investigation, we are only being subjected to more intimidation and harassment. We live with the uncertainty of what is coming next, who is showing up at our house, our kids' events, and what they will do. And this is in bold.
Somebody never got the memo about writing that less is more. These people, you know how like a thing that I've learned, and granted, I've worked for 16 years. I was not always this good at this. I was sometimes used to be very poor at this. The most effective emails are 3 sentences long. This is not effective. It's just getting repetitive. It's poorly written. It's nonsensical. It's making sweeping conclusions. It's telling, not showing. You got to show, don't tell people. That's like rule number 1. It's not written in the inverted it's not written in like a triangle, like headline, deck. No. Lead, exposition, close. I mean, come on, folks. Come on. Get your shit together.
This is bold. This is in bold in that letter. Why would anyone want to be a witness under these circumstances? No one wants to be
threatening. They're threatening to not be witnesses. Oh no. Oh no.
And now he invokes John O'Keefe. Knowing John O'Keefe, if he could walk through the door, he would tell my wife to walk away. He would tell her.
You mean the guy? Tell them the guy never went in the house? That John O'Keefe, your best friend, the guy? Show me, like, show us any evidence that you knew him before that night. Show us any evidence, Matt McCabe. I swear to fucking God. This is ridiculous. Knowing John O'Keefe as I do, not at all. Sorry.
Jen!
You done?
He's a precious boy.
Knowing John O'Keefe, if he could walk through the door, he would tell my wife to walk away. He would tell her, this is not worth it. What has happened to us is a disgrace of our judicial system, a disgrace to our state, and has set the wrong precedent for future witnesses. While this case has made the state of Mass out to be a complete embarrassment in the eyes of the public, our leaders have stood idle. The DOJ has made a mockery of the state police investigation and refused to stand up to clear the witnesses' names. The Attorney General has sat back while the governor and leaders of the state police, the option was to punish the state police officers at the forefront of this investigation. The punishment of those dedicated officers is a mistake. Every decision or non-action that has been made by the people who should be leading this state has only fueled the FKR mob. We all should be ashamed and should work together to make sure what has happened to my family never, ever happens to anyone else again. Thank you for your time and effort, and to those who are trying to help, but this is capitalized, and I'm not really sure why. Enough is capitalized enough. It's time to bring forth additional charges now, as we have expressed in person and have mentioned previously. We live in constant fear and uncertainty for my family's safety. This defines witness intimidation. I look forward to your response and next steps. Best regards, Maddie McCabe.
Look at Lex committing cyber crimes in our chat here. If JOK walked through the door, well, he can't because y'all are murderers. Cybercrime.
Cybercrime.
Word salads achieve the opposite of its intention. Also, fancy words that don't make one sound smart. And caps are harder to read, so not effective. I actually can tell you that caps are actually easier for some folks to read. Some hosts on the radio prefer their scripts to be in all caps, Arial 14-point font. I used to work with one of those people. It was wild. I'm surprised the whole letter wasn't all caps. Let's see.
Let's talk about how in both of these letters, Matt McCabe is begging the folks in charge of the Commonwealth, including the DOJ, to come out and make a public statement saying that he and his wife and his family are innocent.
Yeah, they want another Morrissey hostage video. That's what they want. They want a Morrissey hostage video.
The issue here, though, is that if the DOJ isn't saying that, it means they're still investigating and they're not quite sure about y'all. Especially since your wife lied to them, lied right to their faces.
My favorite quote is, why would anybody want to be a witness? Nobody wants to be a witness. Literally, there's almost never a situation where someone's like, you know what I want? I want to be a witness. I want to see something real bad happen. And then I want to have to disrupt my whole life and go to court or the cops to talk about it. That's what I want.
I think Rebecca's laying that out pretty clearly, Law Girls. What is it that they even want? I'm unclear. I honestly think they want someone to be an advocate for them. Like Rebecca said, they want the Michael Morrissey hostage video. They want Maura Healey to get in front of a microphone. They want the U.S. attorney, Dan Levy, Josh Levy.
Wouldn't it be great if the U.S. attorney were Dan Levy?
Yes.
Ew, David. Ew.
So anyway, Matt McCabe and Jen McCabe, they're like totally innocent. So yeah, he wants Josh Levy and Maura Healey to get in front of those microphones and be like, this is witness intimidation and we will not stand it in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Matthew McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, their daughter Allie are innocent bystanders. They are just regular soccer people. They're just moms and dads.
Dr. Jen Toxic says they want a turtle boy. Well, they think they have one. They think they have 4 of them. And they are the worst turtle boyers who ever turtle boyed. Or like Lenahan is their turtle boy.
There are 5.
There are 5 foreskins?
They've changed the name. They've taken
what is it now?
F-O-U. It's foreskins, but they took the U out because there were 5 of them now.
So it's a forensic room with no U?
Yeah.
It's not British anymore?
No. You didn't know?
Who's the 5th one?
I don't fucking know. I don't know any of their names.
So remember how yesterday I was telling you that like I legitimately am not hate watching Machado stream when she's in the car because I find it really compelling when she has road rage and then orders a dunks. Like I love that. It's very funny to me. I've tried to find their stream to be compelling or interesting or like it's just so boring. I'd rather listen to Jess Machado talk inappropriately about her son's job for 8 hours than I would rather watch that for 8 minutes. Like, it's just so boring. So, and no one ever goes through a drive-through. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. Let's transition into Jess Machado information. We're going to touch on this very, very, very briefly. I'm not going to bring up any
non-apologies.
I know. I am not going to bring up any of the video or the tweets or anything like that. I'm going to and tell you where we are now. And that is that, okay, our friend Broken Baker was doing a stream where he was talking about smallpox for some reason. Who knows? It's Baker. Who knows why he's talking about smallpox?
Because he's weird.
He made
I love the guy, but he's weird.
He's weird. We love him. Stay weird, Baker. He was making a comment like, you know, the only way you get smallpox is if you have sexual relations with the neighbor's daughter. That's what he said.
No. He said you spend too much time with the neighbor's daughter. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
He said, he also said it's a sexually transmitted disease. So he was inferring that you have sex with the neighbor's daughter. We're all paraphrasing here.
Not how smallpox is transmitted, by the way. It was fleas on rats.
He knows that. He was making a joke.
Okay.
And there are certain people who don't understand Baker's humor. And Jess Machado is one of those people. And Baker was like, immediately he was like, oh, that I'm going to, basically I could see his like brain working, going, I'm going to get torn apart for what I just said. I didn't mean it in the way that everyone thinks I meant it or whatever. So he started immediately like backpedaling and apologizing. Well, of course, Macchiato was told about it by J7, who like obviously is still stalking him, and allegedly, and was basically like, oh, he's a PDF file.
I hate
so
that
Jeff
so
like
much.
went on. I know. And Jeff
I
went
hate that
on
you
for
just can't say a fucking word for some reason. Why can't you just say the actual word for what it is?
Because we will get demonetized.
Why? It's a word that has a meaning. And also there's no F in that word. It's PH, for fuck's sakes, people.
I get it, but there's a reason why La Dollar Bean exists, and that's because TikTok would demonetize and hide people who use the word lesbian. There are sometimes when I'm on Twitter.
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Yes, it is. When I'm looking at someone's page and they've posted something and it says, and it's like a blurry photo and it says behind this is sensitive content, beware. And I click on it and it says something like Happy Pride. And I'm like, wait, why are we censoring the word pride or gay?
Let's go, lesbians, let's go.
Okay. So Ariel says Jess was in his chat watching his show. She said she just popped in coincidentally. And then she went on her own stream and she talked and like went off on him and he's weird and he da-da-da-da-da.
You fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Yesterday morning, she decides to do one of her 24/24 things. And she's sitting at the drive-thru. And she's like, we only have like a few minutes while we're sitting here at the drive-thru. So I'm going to try to get this done. And she's waiting, telling her audience everything about her life. And she tells everybody that she kind of like goes in and watches his streams. Like she admits to that. And then she goes in and she tells everybody that he's very upset because Baker went on Twitter and was like, I demand you retract what you say, blah, blah, blah. It's defamation. So long story short, she did a half apology publicly, which I'll give her credit for. And she was basically like, yeah, I you know, when I heard him say it, I have a daughter and I'm a neighbor, obviously PDF, you know. So she kind of apologized. Did you hear it, Rebecca?
I heard the whole thing. And technically she wasn't at the drive-thru. She had just been to the drive-thru and she was in her driveway waiting for her daughter, who she talks about inappropriately, to come outside so she could bring her to work. And she's like, your hair looks really nice. And it was a whole fucking thing. And the apology was the milk toastiest. It was very similar to the apology we saw that lawyer give in the courtroom. What's that douche's name?
Diller.
Diller. When he did not actually apologize to Karen Reed and her team, he just said, I was mistaken. This was the kind of apology that was like, I said I was sorry. What else do you want? It was that kind of apology. And then she made a more direct apology in her Facebook group, which I will never, ever, ever be a part of in a million years. I would never be a part of a thing called the Bestieverse, even if it were about somebody I liked. But clearly she could tell that, and this is the problem. And she does this all the time. She's like, I don't know. I've just heard it. So I'm just going to say it. This is something I've heard. So I'm just going to say it as if it could potentially be true. Sometimes we talk about things we've heard here, but what we're talking about is the fact that we've heard them and that they're out in the world. We're not like, oh God, I heard this thing. Did you know that Brian Albert is actually a drag queen? I don't know. It's just something I heard. It's something I heard. His name is Big Alberta. Just something I heard. Just something I heard.
Big Alberta. Shaz Star. I've seen several comments. You're really trying to get us to talk about Turtle Boy's motion to compel. That is not on the docket for today. We might talk about that in the near future. We did talk about it briefly, didn't we, before?
I think so.
Yeah. So I understand that you really want us to talk about that. You've brought it up several times. We will talk about it. We're just not doing it today. So
yeah,
say that.
And we are going to be. I just realized Turtle Boy's on vacation next week. I really want to talk to him about his upcoming hearing on the 20th.
Yeah,
it's going to be tight. We're going to have to snag him right after the hearing, or see if he can come on this week.
Yeah,
maybe it won't happen.
He should be having a hearing coming up, actually.
It was on the 20th. He has a hearing.
20th. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's his motion to dismiss hearing.
Got it. Okay. Shall we get into, I think we're only going to have time for maybe one. Well, actually, I really want to discuss quickly the 2 orders that Judge Gildea put out before the holiday weekend, if we can, and then we can maybe get into the Gretchen Voss stuff. Okay. And then I also, this emergency hearing that Gildea had, where he had everyone fly in, and he just like lectured them on the, quiet solemnity of the courtroom and all this bullshit. And then he quoted from a freshman in college. I don't even know. I think I've finally come up with the conclusion I have about what actually happened is very much in line with what the Defense Diaries say happened. And I'm talking about the leaked, impounded material.
The non-leaked, leaked, impounded material. Yes.
Yeah. Here is what I think happened. I'm gonna say what I think happened through a tweet from Defense Diaries. You can't read it; it's on the screen. I'll read it for you. What makes this a no leak situation is that Aiden already had this info out to the world on his 6/6 live, his June 6th live. He talked about getting a tip from someone saying that their husband, wife, brother, cousin, whatever, told them from Elizabeth Proctor that Michael Proctor was in a mental health rehab facility. So Aiden talked about that on his show. He also shared it, I think, on Twitter. At the time of Aiden's post, this is what the Defense Diaries is saying. The time of Aiden's post is irrelevant, truly. It only matters because the judge relied on it because he received incomplete and misleading info, 0 investigation before firing off his order. He then made matters worse by conducting the listening instead of the hearing. So Bob's been calling it a listening and not a hearing, which I think is funny, where if he had allowed the attorneys to speak, he would have learned that the info didn't come from an impounded affidavit filed 30 minutes prior to Aiden's post, but instead from someone who was aware of Proctor's situation and ran their mouth. Worse yet for the judge is that he has unwittingly confirmed that what Aiden stated about Proctor on 6/6 was substantially similar to what was contained in the impounded document. We figured this out in real time on our live covering the hearing, which I saw myself. I agree with them. Do you have thoughts on it, Rebecca?
I think it was the reason why I think what this is referred to was the Aiden tweet and not the Grant Smith-Ellis tweet is because I said on the show the other day, Aiden is the most scrutinized figure in this whole case online. Yeah. And so the number of people who are actively just refreshing, or have a Google alert set up for every single time he tweets anything, which is a thing that people have set up, I'm sure of it, are like all of the Five Skins, Kate Peter, the lawyer, the paralegals, whatever, they all have it. So it is much more likely to be something he did that was brought to the judge's attention than something that Grant Smith Ellis did, who I don't think people who take particularly seriously in that on that side of things. And I think that Aiden's also being scrutinized by the Norfolk County DA's office because he's being prosecuted by a special prosecutor in the Norfolk County DA's office. So I think that if the judge is going to pay attention to something, again, it would be something that somebody that he thought was worth paying attention to had sent him. So it would be something that a lawyer sent him, someone in the DA's office sent him, or a cop sent him. And that is far more likely to be something that Aiden communicated than anybody else. And it was not a leak if it was Aiden, because he got a tip. It's pretty fucking clear he got a tip. So, yeah.
Well, he's not the only one who got it. He's not the only one who got it. Larry Foreman, too. Probably some other people got it. And they just didn't say anything because they were like, oh, this seems weird. I'm not going to talk about this. Or who knows who this person is, yada, yada. But Aiden, he got a tip. So did Larry Foreman. They both talked about it. Not a big deal. Okay.
So did you see Kouri Hopkins' response to this?
I didn't, but go ahead and tell me about it.
So Kouri Hopkins tweeted out a potential remedy to the situation yesterday.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. So she basically says the defense might file a motion to reconsider the court's factual finding that a protective order was violated. They would attach as exhibits the Grant tweet and the Aiden tweet, a comparison, a comparison regarding the problems with the hearing's vagueness, and any pre-6-8 reporting or posting about the subject of Proctor's impounded filings, which is the mental health thing. Highlighting very real concerns coming from the Proctor camp. One of the things that I saw suggested here is to, ask the court to quickly confirm the factual basis without casting aspersions, file an emergency motion under impoundment, not legal advice. If the judge were so vague, yada, yada. I believe, was it her or somebody else said that a good remedy would be for the plaintiff and defendants lawyers to get together and come to an agreement about it that they filed in front of the judge, thereby codifying that leaks did not come from us and won't come from us. Because if they come together to do it, the judge will more likely assume. Because there is a real danger here that somebody who is pro Michael Proctor or somebody who just doesn't want Michael Proctor to have to give a deposition because it would be bad for them, i.e. the McAlberts, could put information out into the public space that looks like a leak because they do have access. The O'Keefes have access to these impounded materials. And the O'Keefes could be incentivized to give them to a Kate Peter, to give them to, what I mean? So
yes,
it's dangerous. Oh, look at you, Mel, being generous. Gifting us something's off membership. If you're the recipient of Mel's very generous membership or one of my memberships, please consider renewing when your month is over. We'd really appreciate it.
And also, if you're here right now, please go and like the video, go like the stream, because, there are 1,350 of you here.
I don't know. You just might type.
All 1,351 of you.
You're hot.
All of you. And some of you, the male ones.
He's a precious boy.
All of you.
Absolutely.
The three men that are in here are all precious boys.
About this hearing, this crazy emergency hearing, the judge put out 2 orders, right? I'm sorry, I take that back. He didn't put it out about this hearing. He put out 2 different orders. One of them was the order compelling responses from Aiden Carney that the plaintiffs were asking for. And he also put out a decision and an order on Tully's motion to quash and or protective order regarding a subpoena issued by defendant Karen Reed. So we're going to go through really quickly order 151 first, which was the order to compel responses from Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy. Aiden Carney, and this is just like a couple of notes from the order. Aiden failed to make any formal objections, discovery responses, or requests for a time extension to the plaintiffs. Aiden did not file any opposition to the motion to compel by the June 30th deadline. So the order in this one, the motion to compel is allowed. So they officially ordered Aiden Carney to fully comply with the supplemental keeper of record subpoena on or before July 13th, which is next week. Do you have thoughts?
I don't. I mean, I'm curious to know how this affects his, motion to dismiss his filings in his criminal case. It's very, very important to remember that he is being prosecuted for multiple felonies that could have a combined jail time of decades. I believe it's unlikely that sentencing would take place, but it could potentially. And he's under prosecution because they wanted shit about Karen Reed and they wanted him to stop writing about it. So I am always nervous when I see somebody who's being prosecuted for a separate crime, being asked to compel things that could put their own liberty at jeopardy. But again, this is a civil court, different matter. I'm just curious to see how it's going to play out. So,
and that's pretty much why they didn't respond to it, because if he responds to it and they tell him he's compelled, he's going to be in a situation where, he's being charged in a separate case, a criminal case. And if he may incriminate himself if he doesn't take the fifth in this, but I don't.
But if you take the fifth in a civil case, that can be inferred to mean
yes.
So when you take the fifth in a criminal case, the jury is supposed to ignore it, and the judge and jury are supposed to ignore, like basically not take that into account. Just you asserting your rights. In a civil case, a person pleading the fifth can have negative. The jury is instructed that can have a negative inference. They are allowed to assume a negative inference. So,
which is what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to put him in that position where
he's not a party in this case. So it would look bad for Karen and the bars, not for him, but still not great. Still not great.
In eliminating. So they made TB a part of the case by assigning him to be the keeper of records ? And that's how they could try to fake this quote unquote leak as if it were his fault. Perhaps we have no idea what their thoughts are, what they're thinking. Okay. Order 150, which is the Tully motion to quash order. So Gildea, this is more complicated. Gildea agreed with Tully's counsel that formal objection should have been filed and a Rule 9C conference should have taken place. He sharply criticized Karen's defense counsel for maintaining a pattern of issuing, quote, facially overbroad subpoenas, end quote, and violating Massachusetts Rule 45, which requires lawyers to undue burden and expense on non-parties.
Say again. You can just cut out. Which requires lawyers to what?
Which requires lawyers to minimize undue burden and expense on non-parties. There was a total failure of communication between both sides, the judge said. And then he also said because Tully's camp previously bypassed filing a formal objection and instead mutually agreed to reschedule the discovery date to July 8th, which is 2 days from now.
Wednesday.
The judge declared that, quote, agreement to mean something, just like subpoenas, end quote, and refused to wipe out the subpoena entirely. Gildea rejected the argument that state court discovery should be stayed or restricted due to parallel federal proceedings or federal discovery limits. And while a judge has the inherent power to manage discovery, the looming discovery deadline in this case eliminated any reason to delay the proceedings. So his order was that he denied the request to completely quash the subpoena, but he allowed the protective order in part. The court compromised by the narrowing scope of the required document production to only the specific items outlined on page 13, paragraph 17 through 20. So I grabbed page 13, paragraph 17 through 20 so we could understand what he was narrowing the scope to. Is limiting document production to materials specifically concerning Tully's direct supervisory communications regarding the O'Keefe investigation during the period January 29th, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, which are in his possession, custody, or control. So he only has to pull records that are specifically about his supervisory communications. I think it's a strange date range. Really just a year.
It's a strange date range because
months.
So much of what happened in the case. So what were the dates? The 29th of
29th through December 31st. It's 11 months.
The issue with that is that so much of what was bad about the investigation happened in 2023. So the FBI started sniffing around in April-ish of 2023. The summer of 2023 was when they did things like finally interview Lucky Loughran, finally interview a bunch of witnesses. When they took new statements where things changed because of responses to things that they heard, from the defense regarding FBI stuff or things that Turtle Boy was reporting from FBI stuff. So I think the investigation was rotten in 2022. I think it became extra rotten in 2023 and to me, the 2023 stuff points more to a cover up in some ways than even granted, planning of the taillight, all that stuff happened in 2022, but the retroactive report writing, the taking witness statements and then misstating what they said in their statements or saying that they weren't credible, like all that stuff happened in 2023 as ways to counteract what they knew the defense was going to do. And what the defense was doing was based on factual stuff that had been dug up and reported on. So I think 2023 is a super dirty year, and I think it super sucks that they were able to not include that year. It should have extended through the end of 2023, in my opinion.
Absolutely. There are more rulings that only go for those dates. Another number 18, which falls under page 13, paragraph 17 through 20. So Judge Gildea is saying that Tully's team are allowed, excluding request 13 in its entirety, as Lieutenant Tully's own personnel and disciplinary records are protected from compelled third-party disclosure. So he's allowing them to not have to show his disciplinary records, which I think is bullshit. And then 19, excluding requests 14 and 15 in their entirety, as they seek proceedings and third-party disciplinary matters that are not within Tully's custody or control. So again, the judge is allowing them to exclude. Am I reading that right?
Say it again.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the order. He's denying the request to completely quash the subpoena, but he allowed the protective order in part. The court compromised by narrowing the scope of the required document production to only the specific items outlined on page 13. So I pulled this from page 13 of Tully's motion to quash. So the things that I'm reading to you are what Tully is saying.
Mm-hmm.
So limiting document production to materials specifically, blah, 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 between the 31st, January 29th and December 31st. So
no good.
Tully is saying to do.
Say it again. Tully is saying what?
Tully is saying they want to limit document production to materials specifically concerning direct supervisory communications between January 29th and December 31st. Judge Gildea is saying that is going forward. So yes, we agree to that. Number 18, however, so Tully is saying they want to exclude his personnel and disciplinary records, and Judge Gildea is saying that's fine. Number 19, he's saying they're seeking records of parallel proceedings and third-party disciplinary matters that are not within Tully's custody. So they don't want to give that up. Judge Gildea is saying, fine. Number 20.
He's going to say everything's not within his custody.
Right.
Nothing's within my custody.
Limiting requests 6 and 7 to communities specifically and directly concerning the O'Keefe investigation during the period January 29th through December 31st. So I'd have to go back and look at what Karen Reed is saying requests 6 and 7 are, but they are communications specifically and directly concerning the O'Keefe investigation. So the judge is saying it is okay to limit Tully's, giving over Tully's direct communications January 29th, 2022 and December 31st, 2022.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
I don't like this.
It's such bullshit. I don't understand what Gildea is doing, Rebecca. I don't understand it. Somebody in the chat was like, it sounds like he's been meeting with Canoni. Yeah, it's starting to sound that way to me too. I don't want to be a fucking conspiracy theorist here, but this is ludicrous. The way that he is handling this is ludicrous.
I don't like it. I think that some of the things he's done have been reasonable. I don't like the results of these. I don't like these motions. And they're not great for the people that we want to win this. We don't know why he did it, but they're not great for the people that we want to prevail here. So I don't like him personally. I can't speak to whether or not he's had lunch with Canoni. I'm not going to go there, but I do think he's being I think he's so pissed off that he's being overly conservative because he's pissed. And I don't think being pissed is a good reason to do that. So.
No. Okay. Shall we bring up
Kouri?
Do you want to talk about Kouri? I don't have anything to talk about with Kouri on my list. I was going to do the Gretchen Voss next, but you go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can we just talk about the fact that Kouri Richins?
Yeah. Oh, Kouri Richins. Yes, I have Kouri. I'm sorry.
What is that?
Yeah, I have that. Let's talk about Kouri Richins. Actually, if we could talk about Kouri Richins and then wrap this up, and then the next time we'll go over all the
because the Voss stuff is meaty. Yeah, and I want to. Yeah.
There's also the Sallyport video. Let me do this really quick because it's a quick one, and then we'll get to Kouri Richins. Okay, so there was over the weekend. I think I mentioned this in our stream. That's not the right one. I mentioned this on our stream on Sunday that there was a Sallyport video which we've never seen before that came out that is super super messy looking. You can't see anything, and I thought it would be just drop the video into AI and be like, hey, analyze this for me. And AI came back with, this video has been heavily manipulated and edited, and here are all the editing things they did to this video, which include like Gaussian blurs and just like making a shaking effect on the video, like all kinds of stuff that an editor would recognize. I recognized immediately and was like, I need to understand. What Colleen Crawford allegedly did to this video.
I was just thinking, it's too bad she's not more of like a J.J. Abrams fan and she didn't put like a bunch of fucking lens flares in there to be like.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, she kind of did put in a few lens flares. Like there's like that. Yeah.
Fincher, make everything super symmetrical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gray it all out.
Thanks for becoming a member, Rebecca Shackelford. We appreciate you. Happy to have you.
Become a member and you can join us tonight. Where I'm going to get drunk and Mel's going to make me watch stuff. It's our Crossroads series. We do tonight for members only at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Let me talk about Crossroads really quickly before I do this tweet. I had put out a thumbnail, had 3 people, and it was like, who's next? And those 3 people were Katie McLaughlin, Kelly Dever, and I think, was it Allie McCabe? I can't remember. But I had an epiphany last night, and I've actually changed up the graphic. I changed it, and I would like to show you how I've changed it up.
Okay.
And let me pull it up real quick.
Lady Harlot says, this channel has turned me into a Monday day drinker, and I'm here for it. Listen, we don't start our stream till 5. So if you're East Coast, you're technically not day drinking.
I don't know why it's not letting me pull that up. Okay, hold on. I'll pull up the I will pull up our page. Something's off. Okay, so we're doing our members only Crossroads tonight. And let's see.
I'm scared. What kind of, should I do a frozen drink? Should I do a straight on the rocks? Like, what am I going to need for this?
You're going to need something for this. You are going to need something for this because it's a video I watched yesterday and it made me uncomfortable.
No.
So it's going to make you uncomfortable.
No.
Yes. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't. Who's on there? I see me. I see Hank. I see someone else like Maggie Hassan. That's not Maggie Hassan though. That's what's her face? Lapisado. I see Dr. Russell.
Brennan. Dr. Russell, Lapisado, and Dan Wolf. So it's going to be one of these 3.
Is it going to be a cross-examination of one of those 3?
I'm not going to tell you anything more. But
it will be because you put Hank up there. No.
I mean, let it be. Let it go. It's going to be fine.
No.
It's going to be fine.
Piper, no.
So that is what's happening tonight. But right now we are talking about this Sallyport video. This guy named Adam Scott. I don't know Adam Scott very well, and I'm not sure who he is, but I put that video into the AI and said, hey, should analyze it and tell me what happened in here. And AI was like, this has been heavily manipulated. And I was like, yeah, no shit. So excuse me. Sorry. Take it away, Rebecca.
So it's been heavily manipulated. J.J. Abrams went into it and added lens flares. David Fincher went into it and grayed it all out and made it super washed out. The director of The Bear went in there and then like sweetened up the eye color and made them all bright blue. Dennis Villeneuve went in there and added a bunch of this. Woo, as did Christopher Nolan.
I apologize for so my pod is in the garage, which is next to my woodworking shop, and I think that the sawdust from work I did the other day keeps getting into my lungs, and it's giving me the worst tickle ever. But also, I've been talking a lot today.
It's also probably giving you cancer. You need to get a fucking filter for that room. You can't be breathing in particulates. That's bad for you.
Okay. Anyway, so somebody took the Sallyport video that we had never seen before, that had been cut out of the video that we saw in court, and they finally lightened it up because the original video was almost nearly black. But you can see the video jumping on the screen a little bit. Let me play it again. So you can see this video jumping a little bit. Obviously, that isn't editing. That's like you put a shake filter on it, basically.
Can you make it bigger? I can't see it at all. It's so tiny. Just make do it in your screen. There you go, girl. There you go.
Okay, so this is a video of Karen Reed's Lexus, and this is apparently the tow truck driver. I don't know that for sure. But finally, somebody lightened this video up because it was just too dark to see anything, really. You couldn't figure out what this guy was doing, all that stuff. Once they lightened it up, you see, and this is again, apparently, allegedly, the tow truck driver walking around the car, doing all this stuff. He just walked by. He just walked around the car.
Okay.
This is the main driveway exterior, I think.
Canton Witch Project.
So you see this guy on the screen?
Yes, that little shadow of a man.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see because they've edited it so much, but I can't see it because it's too big on my screen. All right, so here he is. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. You can see him walking. So fast forward, you see him walking right there?
Sort of,
and then he stops.
Yes.
He turns back around.
Yes.
Takes a photo.
Yes.
Takes a photo of the lights, of the registration, of all the stuff on the back of the car.
Where's that photo?
Exactly. Then he walks out of frame. That was.
Where's that photo? Where's the photo?
Where is the photo? Where's the photo, you guys? Why isn't that in the discovery? So I think like in the next round of discovery, we should be asking for the information about the guy who took the photo of the car. And yeah, where's this? I mean, this is okay. So someone in the chat's asking, Leslie's asking, where's the snow? The snow was there, but the video is so dark, you can't see that it's snow. So
did you ever see that? Do you remember when there was that wild theory? Because there was that video of from inside the Sallyport where the car was being driven in, and there was like snow as if a car had been there, and then pulling out and then pulling it in, and it was like that car was already in there. They just pulled it out and pulled it back in because the rectangle of snow exactly matched. Exactly matched the shape of the car. I remember that. I don't know what to make of it, but I do remember saying that looks super fucking sus. That's very, very technical.
Lindsay, there's really no way to. There's no way to undo the edits, which is why we need the raw footage from Colleen Crawford. Which is why, do we remember when the defense sent their expert to Canton PD and to get the files off the
after there was
system.
an order saying that they had to, and after they said that they would.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
And then he was supposed to be looking at their metadata as well, and all of it just disappeared. Just went away. LOL.
Can you go back to that video so we can look at the lights as this person says?
Yeah, it is.
On both sides.
You can see the red on both sides. Yeah, hold on a second.
Hot damn. Hot damn these people.
Yeah, you can see red on both sides.
Wendy, I'm not a praying person, but if I were, I would also be praying for justice for John O'Keefe. I'm just hoping for justice for John O'Keefe.
I mean, you can see it in every shot of this video. But there is red on both sides. I'll go toward the end of the video. Red on both sides. Red,
Mm.
red everywhere. Red on both sides. They're so dumb. I just can't. I can't believe they're getting away with it. That's the thing that's starting to blow my mind at this point. Okay,
it's starting to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna be like Coco Gauff right now. Starting to. What'd you think of Sabalenka being taken down?
Very happy to see. I mean, I love Sabalenka. I love her, but I want Osaka to make that comeback. I want her to make it a thing. So
I don't mind somebody. I love being taken down by somebody who kind of had her moment. Like I felt like Osaka kind of had her moment, then really lost it, and is now like. And I love to see it, and I love her physical. I love her like outfit, like her kimono. I love the whole using Wimbledon to sort of showcase. It's very Serena-like to use Wimbledon to sort of showcase a fashion look. Like I love all of that, and I also just like her.
I don't think she actually like lost it. I don't think it was taken away from her. She herself took a break away from the sport for mental health.
That's what I mean.
Is really great.
Yeah.
Okay. Our last piece, we haven't talked about this case in a while. There's been some movement.
And for those who don't know, Sabalenka is the world number 1, and she was taken down by Osaka. And then yesterday, Coco Gauff won her tournament within 2 minutes of the time of it being called for long, and she won. And she did that at the end, and it was epic.
She won the match, not the tournament.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. She won her match in the tournament.
Yeah. Okay, let me just answer this question really quickly. Law Girls said, why can't the video be like reverse engineered though? Like reverse engineered. If we know what was removed or changed, why can't we add it back to clarify? The thing is, they're not taking anything out of the video. They are adding into the video. And until we have the original video, we can't know what they've added in. We can guess, like the shake they've added, the clarity of the video they've added, like the non-clarity of the video, the darkness they've added, the blurs they've added, the color blurs they've added. They can't add necessarily people into it. I don't think Colleen Crawford is that crafty, and AI wasn't that much of a thing when she was messing with these videos allegedly. So you can't, unless you are the original editor of that, you can't pull those things off of the video. So if I'm an editor, I'm the video of me and Rebecca right now in my timeline, which would be like, it's laid out frame by frame, right? I'm looking at this video of Rebecca, and I wish I could do it right now. Actually, I can. Hold on. I'll show you.
There's a thing called destructive editing and non-destructive editing, like when you're doing a project. And if you have the original, say, Adobe Premiere session, you can open the file. But if you've actually made changes to that file, that's called destructive editing. In audio, you should never do destructive editing, by the way.
I just put a blur on my video. Do you see how I put the blur on it?
Mm-hmm.
And now, this is all you're doing. You're getting rid of the blur. So I can do that because I'm the original editor. If I exported this and I gave you those 5 seconds, and in those 5 seconds you saw the blur pop up behind me, and then I took it away, you don't have the option of taking that blur away. I only have the option of taking the blur away. So the only person who could do it would be Colleen, or whoever was working with her allegedly. And we can't know for sure exactly what filters she put on the video unless we see the raw footage. And then we can go, okay, so obviously she put a Gaussian blur here. She put, a jittery filter on this, but there's no taking it back. There's no takesy backsies. So
this is my Glare impression. We're going to go members only.
Before we go members only, we're not doing that right now. We're doing that at 5:00 tonight for our cross roast, which we will be breaking down some sort of testimony, not necessarily a cross-examination, with either Hank Brennan and or Dan Wolf, Marie Russell, Dr. Marie Russell, or Dr. La Posada. We're gonna make Rebecca real nervous tonight, y'all.
I'm really nervous.
I'm not telling you who it is. Okay, let's talk about Kouri Richins. We haven't talked about Kouri Richins in a long time. Let's go back to Utah for a sec. If you remember, Kouri Richins is the wife and mother and
Adjudicated murderer.
Author. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Who was convicted of murdering via fentanyl overdose her husband, Eric. She was Rebecca and I had very different takes on how the trial went. I thought it was not a great it was an okay trial. I don't think she was fully I don't think they were able to fully put on a defense, and I think there were some holes that really showed reasonable doubt. A lot of people disagree with me. That's totally fine. Rebecca disagrees with me. That's totally fine.
I do think that the attempted murder charge was bullshit and shouldn't have been allowed in the trial. I will say that. But I think the rest of the trial, I thought it was pretty okay.
Her lawyers were meh. They were a little bit crazy. They seemed a little crazy, but I don't know. It sounds like her main lawyer she has a pretty good reputation, I guess, and she's also representing the guy who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. So who knows? Tyler Robinson. We did like the judge in this case. We both agreed that the judge was pretty fair. Really nice guy, great voice. Judge Mrazek, handsome, bear, gentle, soft bear. Kouri Richins' defense team spent the entire trial wanting to put everything on the record because they knew from the get-go that they were going to be appealing this conviction. I think that's my opinion.
Well, every murder conviction gets an appeal, but they were planning on it because I think they knew she was going to be convicted.
They knew. So the appeal has been filed. Richins' legal team filed a 14-page motion on June 30th, 2026, demanding a completely new trial. And I'm going to break down some of the things they allege, and then I'm going to break down where we're at right now. So basically, the things that they allege, Kouri Richins' attorneys allege, are that the 3rd District Judge, Judge M, showed clear bias in favor of the prosecution throughout the trial. The motion says the judge was frequently impatient, critical, and hostile exclusively toward the defense team. I can see where they're coming up with that. He did those things where they're complaining because he did a lot of this in front of the jury, and I agree. He did do some of it in front of the jury where he would tell one of them to take a breath and things like that. Some of it didn't come off great. Some of it came off condescending. I can understand it. He repeatedly interrupted them and corrected counsel in front of the jury, creating the appearance that they were mishandling witnesses and depriving Richins of a fair and neutral trial. He also allowed the prosecution to include inappropriate admission of Richins' extensive financial crimes, which included bounce checks, forgery, misleading bank statements. And they actually invoked Alex Murdaugh's conviction of introducing when they were not allowed to, or they were allowed to introduce years of financial misdeeds before focusing on the murder. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I believe you want to say Alec Murdoch.
Alec
Murdoch.
So they're saying that because the judge allowed the prosecution to bring in extensive financial crimes, that it put substantial undue prejudice on Kouri Richins. I almost said Corey Hopkins, but I meant Kouri Richins.
No,
I know that unfair the jury. So they're basically saying, Judge Mrazek, it seems like you were on the side of the prosecution. You were condescending to us in front of the jury. You also allowed Kouri's extensive financial crimes in, which, causes undue prejudice in front of the jury. Now, granted, the same thing is happening with the Alec Murdoch trial. Alec Murdoch, they're saying that they shouldn't have been allowed to talk about the financial crimes. So we'll see. The outcome so far, we are right now with Kouri Richins. On July 1st, 2026, Judge M officially recused himself. Hold on.
So hot. Only a hot judge would do that.
Okay. Will you highlight that, Rebecca?
It is.
Okay. On July 1st, 2026, Judge M officially recused himself from ruling on the motion for a new trial. Judge M said he did this out of an abundance of caution, which makes sense. He noted that the specific allegation of objective bias against the court inherently created a conflict of interest that required his removal from the decision-making process for this petition. So basically, he's like, I am not recusing myself from the actual trial. I'm recusing myself from making the decision about whether I should stay on as the judge, which I think is great. Next, a presiding judge for the district is now tasked with reviewing the recusal and determining how the court will proceed with Richins' request. Thoughts, Rebecca?
I think the judge 100% did the right thing by recusing himself. Again, that's what a normal judge would do. One thing I really liked about watching this trial was that I really liked that it was a high-profile trial that a lot of people were following live. And so folks got to see an example of a smart, ethical judge keeping control of the courtroom in normal ways, checking prosecution and defense in normal ways. And my favorite thing he ever did was when someone would bring up a statute or precedent in one of their filings or in one of their arguments in front of the court. He did this with both sides. He would take a 10-minute break and he would go back and read the case that they cited and then come back and give an interpretation. He didn't pretend to know things he didn't know.
Right.
And I think it's great that he recused himself. An appeal was very expected in this. I do think there are some appealable issues. I don't think the judge made any judicial error in this case. That's my opinion. I think that if there are appealable issues, it would be, you can call it judicial error, but it's not like biased. I mean, it was fair game for him to decide what could come in and what could stay out. But like, I think that, whatever proceeding led to the attempted murder accusation being rolled into these charges that probably just took place at the DA's office. Like, it's fucked up. I mean, they presented zero evidence that she attempted murdering him other than that Eric ate a sandwich and told someone he didn't feel well. Like, that was weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Okay. So a couple of things. Law Girl says, I felt like KR's Kouri Richins, lead attorney, was spread too thin with Tyler Robinson. I completely agree with that. And then Lex said, y'all, I needed you this morning. My husband's going through mental health crisis and away from me, away for supports. I'm home with my 2 toddlers. Thanks for giving me a smile during this rough time. Jesus.
Thinking of you, Lex. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Lex.
And
thanks for being here.
It's a lot. And it's also really vulnerable and lovely of you to share your story. And we'll be thinking of you and of your husband, and good for him for seeking the help that he needs. I wish more people would do that.
Same. Nurse Mandy, thanks for the $2, says Long till they regret sending those emails. Yeah, exactly. That was in reference to, I think, Matt McCabe.
It was what we knew at the time to be true.
Venus Blue Cupcake, thanks for being a member for 1 month. They said, in 1 month in, Heart, it's early, but I'm happy to be here. We're glad you're here. What else do we have here? Oh, Rebecca, I already said thank you for becoming a new member, but thank you,
Rebecca. Join us tonight.
And then Ace of Grace also became a YouTube member.
She saw the sign and she became a member of our channel. Join us tonight, Ace of Grace.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you want to add before we pop off here?
We have a lot going on. We're going to come back Friday morning and talk about, we started Friday this week, right? We're going to come back Friday morning. We're going to talk about those Voss transcripts, which I think are pretty great. Lots of people are dissecting them now, but I have many thoughts as a journalist about what's in there. This is like rarely an area of expertise I have, and I'm so excited about it. And I really think what would be interesting for me to do is also look at the Boston Magazine article that resulted from this and see what she chose to include and not to include. So I plan on doing some deep diving into that. We'll talk about that Friday. Tonight, please join us for our members only cross roast, where I will get drunk. My husband will be umpiring baseball, and so he won't be here to rein me in. And I will lose my shit over something Mel makes me watch from the second Karen Reed trial. I am dreading it and looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to spending time with all of you so much.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight. This is actually a shorter one, so I think we actually can get through the whole thing. Really excited about it.
I think too, though, members should know you can also go back and watch our stream from yesterday where I got a little hot under the collar about a troublemaker in our space named Jess Machado, who, by the way, invokes us all the time. She invoked us yesterday too. I was like, I don't know what Mel and Rebecca would think if they understood what kind of person they were associating themselves with. First of all, we don't know Broken Baker, but we do like him. He's been a good friend to the channel. And I don't know why you care what we would think. I guess that means that we must be considered respectable or something. So
something. Super Planet Girl Amanda says Mel has the show with Veronica been rescheduled. It has not. I can't really go into too much detail. There is a gag order in place. So that's all I can say about that, really. I know, so stupid. But tomorrow, for those of you who sat through the Edric Foss case with me and talked about it, and then for those of you who came when I had Handy and Jess on to talk about Edric Foss, tomorrow I'm going to do another episode. It's going to be a special one, though, because I'm bringing a guest in. My very good friend, post-conviction attorney, Matt Zernheld, is going to come in. I have told him, I've given him a Cliff Notes version of the Edric Foss case, and I want him to talk me through the appeals process for this. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's happening with Pam Smart's habeas. So join me tomorrow at 12. If it works out, if you guys like our dynamic and talking to Matt, Rebecca and I may bring him in a little bit more often. He's a really good guy. He's a little bit dry like Baker, but he's got a great sense of humor, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him because he's a total legal nerd, and he can just sometimes we go on for hours. What?
Yuri Buchanan blocked me on Twitter.
He blocked a lot of people, but
I know, but I didn't think I was going to be on the list. I was the one who sent you the picture of him in his bathing suit, and I said, I'm surprised how good he looks in his bathing suit. I was just surprised. Let me just say, a lot of those guys do not seem particularly fit.
No.
And whatever feelings I have about Yuri, you can't say he looks bad in his bathing suit because he doesn't.
Gross. I'm ending this right now. Gross.
Unblock